All right, last minute, man. I'm hiking on this nice cold morning. It was about 9 degrees when I took off out here, and the coldest day of the year so far. So I'm sure a lot of you are experiencing that all over the United States right now. They say this is like a really big Arctic blast coming through. But I was walking over here, had my dog with me, and she kicked up the biggest coyote I've ever seen in my life. That thing had to go over 100 pounds. That thing was huge for a coyote, or a coy dog we call them. But yeah, I don't want to have to worry about my German Shepherd running around on the property, so I'm out here trying to track it. I see its footprints right over here. So she actually kicked it up, and it took off kind of running, and it came this way. So I'm tracking him. Now, honestly, part of me don't really want to find him, because I don't like killing anything. I don't enjoy it. And but yeah, they can be a danger. They can be dangerous for your pets and for your farm animals and your deer population and rabbit and all that good stuff. So, you know, if I can run them off, I'm happier. But yeah, if I find them, I'm gonna have to try to take them. But anywho, so yeah, he come this way. But I'm just out here walking around, getting out on this cold morning. Part of me wanted to just stay in by the fire. It's a Sunday, you know. I said, I'll sit by the fire, you know. Nah, I better get up and move around, you know. That's what I said. So, like I was saying in the last talking video I did, you know, talking about how crazy things are starting to look around here, out in this country. And, you know, I said it's probably a good time for people to get in shape, you know, get in shape and get prepared, you know, physically and mentally for whatever's coming around the corner. So I'm out here, got my AR with me, and hunting a coyote in 9-degree weather. So I figured that'd be good for me doing that here. Now watch, what's funny is you'll probably see him running in this video and I'll miss him completely. But so walking through here now, at least you're looking at something pretty and not my ugly mug. But yeah, you know, coyotes really aren't that dangerous for people. They stay away from us, you know. And actually, this big coy dog, it ran from my German Shepherd. So, you know, but they'll also honeypot a dog, you know. They'll get them to follow them out, you know. And that's when there'll be a whole gang of them waiting on it. So, like I said, you got to take care of your property and take care of the wildlife. Be a steward of the land. Into another clearing I've been working on, you know. So I've got, at the top of this hill is where Mr. Obvious and I do a lot of our shooting. We're about a half mile that way on that top ridge, and we shoot across over onto this place, and our target's about a half mile that way. So what I do down in here, these are my woods. This is like the newer section of woods that I have. My old growth is on the other side of the farm. So this is probably 30 years in here. Some of the stuff older, some of the stuff newer, but I'm kind of clearing it out as I go, making some openings. And I've got a spring right here. You can see that never freezes. So that's a good thing. Always got a water source, you know. Good thing to have. You know, we talk about sustainability and living with the environment. That's one of the reasons I was really interested in this particular farm, is it did have a spring that was in the original deed from like the 1800s. And it told right where it was at on the property. And when I had the land surveyed, the guy said, man, they were spot on. You know, those surveyors, they did things in poles, I think they called it, which meant they're just taking poles and stacking them and laying them down. So how many poles, you know, it took to get down this end here and get to the spring. They actually had it. He said they were right on with it. So, but that was an important resource, especially back then, because nobody had city water or, you know, a co-op, a water co-op and things like that. So water is everything. You know, you can't do anything. You can't farm. You can't have cattle, you know, without water. You got to have a water source. I would have loved to have had a place and bordered like some live water or something, but you know, that wasn't really available or in my price point what I could afford. So the way to get land cheap, and I heard another guy say this and he was absolutely correct, you need to purchase in a spot that isn't very hospitable. So meaning there's no electricity, no running water, if there's no utilities, that really limits the number of people that will buy it. And we got down here, just so you can see, deer tracks. I love it when there's a snow on the ground. You know who your neighbors are. You know who's roaming around, what's roaming around on your place. It's easy to track, you know. And I just think it's neat. But I'm going to get around here and circle back. I figure you guys might like to see this. This is what I've been working on these winter months, is getting back in here. And, you know, it gives me some firewood, and a lot of this is box elder that I'm cutting, which is a type of maple. But, yeah, you can see my walnuts. I've got my big walnut trees, and, well, they're not like huge or anything, but they're, you know, big sycamore there. But I'm probably going to leave this sycamore. It makes good shade in the summertime. I figure I'd show you real quick how much water's coming from that spring up there. So it runs constant. You know, now there's times a year where this isn't as wetted as it is right now, but it is constantly running. That spring, I've never seen water not coming out of it. So, you know, it's a good resource to have. Now, no matter what's going on in the world, how life and nature just seems to carry on, you know. Now, these are relatively new trees, but these big oaks I got back here, these are big white oaks. They are, gosh, they got to be a couple 100 years old at least, you know. And we'll get back here and look at them. They're large. They're not the biggest ones I got, but they're good size. And that's the way a lot of these farms were, you know. They'd leave when they were clearing off for pasture land, which is what this was at one time. This is all pasture land. The first thing to come up is going to be your cedar. Then your walnuts, your hickories, and your oaks start to retake. But you can see a limb fell out of that this year. That's going to be good firewood. Look, just one limb. And you've got darn near a cord of wood, you know, out of one of these. But yeah, so you're talking a couple 100-year-old tree, you know, here. These things, I don't know if the camera's doing it justice here, but if I stand next to that, it's, you know, 2 of me wide, you know. So yeah, pretty neat. But it's funny how important we think things are in our lives, you know, and things going on around the world. And, you know, when you just stop for a second and look at nature, you know, 200 years, these things have seen, you know, 2 world wars at least, you know. the sinking of the Titanic, you know, all those things. And here they are. They just living their life, you know. So it doesn't look like I'm probably gonna find a wily coyote out here, which like I said, you know, I got a heart. It's you know, it's hard to kill something that looks like a dog to me, you know. But you know, I've been sitting here doing my, you know, squirrel distress call there, or rabbit distress, but doing that and not seeing anything. So yeah, I think it's safe to say he knows I'm out here and he's hiding out. You know, they're not stupid. So you know, thumping around and me talking to myself out here too probably isn't helping that situation, but that's okay, you know. Like I said, nature does what nature does. Here's where I had some trees come down this spring, and those were red oaks that fell. There's the last remaining shoot off that red oak that fell, but clean that up. That's pretty much what I've been burning this winter: red oak and some hickory. And I didn't have to take down any healthy trees. That's just maintenance, maintaining, you know, trees that fall, limbs that fall, you know, standing dead timber, things like that. So yeah, you can probably see over there the stump, but that's again, being a steward of the land. All right, so appreciate you all going with me on this little hike around my place. I do about a 1.5 mile loop is what I do, just kind of as a workout. I tried to do this every other morning on top of any farm chores that I'm doing and stuff. I'm trying to get back in decent shape. I always carry a rifle with me, again, because you never know. I mean, we even have some black bear around here, and yeah, you never know what you're gonna run into. And like that big coy dog today, you know, I worry more about the safety of my dog than I do myself, because she didn't have you know, they don't have the fortitude, I guess, not to go chasing after things, especially a German Shepherd. So yeah, I worry about her chasing it into a trap. But anywho, so, you know, get out in nature, folks. Get out, enjoy it if you can. If you got a local park or something, you know, go for a walk out there. I'll tell you, it do you a whole lot of good, you know, getting away from all the noise, you know, the internet, you know, the computers, just getting away from it and getting out and, you know, even though it's cold air, enjoying that fresh, cold, crisp, clean air. You know, I gotta tell you, I prefer the winter in many ways, and I've gotten that way as I've gotten older. for some reason, I prefer the cold air, and it's nice. Kentucky's a fairly warm climate, though. We do get all 4 seasons here, but our winters aren't real bad. It's a rare occasion that we have a bad winter. But yeah, I like seeing it though. I like it when we get a good snow and I can go out and act like a kid. Slide down a hill or something, you know. But anywho, you know, appreciate you all for sticking with me and watching this today. And get out and enjoy nature. And remember, keep your knives sharp, keep your powder dry. Subscribe to Last Minute Man and watch us on Rumble.